On this week's The Science of Tennis, we talk about professionals' techniques and methods and some reasons on why tennis is the fourth most popular sport in the world with over 1 billion fans. One of the biggest parts of tennis is the serve and can make or break your tennis game. Now, with all sports, physics plays a very important role in what your serve looks like. Your throw for a serve needs to be high enough so it has a large velocity on the way down thanks to gravity. However, it can't be so high that the drag moves the ball off course. Another thing that can really impact a serve is the rotational momentum of your body, which is why most players tend to favor what is called a trophy position when they serve. This position starts away from the box that you were trying to hit it in, and then because of the rotational momentum of you moving, it can create a great serve. Another really important factor that can really impact your tennis game is the type of racket you use. The weight of your racket matters a lot in tennis because tennis players are always trying to find the optimum force to put on the ball. And if the racket is too heavy, they can't do their form fast enough. And if the racket is too light, they can't place the ball on the opponent's side of the court in the right location or with enough speed, as seen in this formula. The weights of a racket differ from pro to pro. Most professional players tend to have one that they prefer, maybe a backup one that might have a little tighter strings so that they have more control over the racket. So if you're playing against someone that hits it out a lot, you can have really consistent shots. Or if you really need to pull an Hail Mary just to get it in, then you probably want looser strings to try to get those special shots in. So many different pros have different types of rackets that they have. Roger Federer, he is an exception. He really likes to perfect his different moves, so he really only uses one type of racket. He is, without a doubt, one of the most well-known and highly paid athletes in the world, and he is very well-known for a shot people like to call the tweener. Notice his amount of practice he goes through in making this shot. It is a lot of muscle memory. In the next clip, you will see Roger Federer and Nadal, two very famous tennis players, making fun of something that very oftenly occurs in tennis. One big question tennis fans have after watching their first tennis game is why the tennis players grunt so much. And the answer is actually more scientific than wanting to psych out the opponent, getting yourself hyped up. Most of the time, tennis grunts are actually accidental, and the player is just breathing quickly. Well-known players grunt more than they have to, though, because they know the science behind it. Studies show that when a player grunts, the ball goes faster, and the opponent will usually tend to spend close to 0.3 seconds to fully comprehend the grunt, which may not seem like a lot of time. However, 0.3 seconds in the pros could determine the point. Join us next week, where we try to find out the science of hypothermia and getting hit in the balls.